And what's the biggest challenge about being a broadcaster that you face?
I think it is the fact that we're all works in progress, and actually you're never the finished article, and always just being aware of that.
Yep.
Being prepared to learn off those, not just older with more experience, but actually younger with fresher ideas that come at it from a new perspective. So I love all the young new fans that are coming through, and you've got to listen to them because they're seeing it through very different eyes.
Yep.
Sometimes, I talked about it being formulaic. Actually, why not disrupt that slightly? Why not make it, just because we've always done it that way? We don't have to always do it that way.
Yeah.
Right.
So listen to the fans. But that doesn't feel like a challenge in an arduous sense. It actually feels like an exciting opportunity.
Yeah.
So I enjoy it. I love it.
That's brilliant. And when it comes to staying objective, I'm curious how any reporter or journalist does this. Like, how do you disassociate your
Do you know
personal
what?
beliefs, or what do you think?
I think it's twofold. I think one is that I'm certainly not paid to have an opinion. Right. I mean, I've never sat in a Formula One car. I can't really give a view on it. That's what the pundits are for. Martin Brundle, Damon Hill, Jenson Button, Nico Rosberg, they've all been there and done it. And they absolutely have the right to an opinion. I don't. I feel myself like a conduit for the fans. So I'm hopefully asking the questions that you watching at home want answered. In terms of objectivity when it comes to drivers, inevitably you feel quite invested in those drivers. You feel like they're your friends and you want them to do well. I mean, there isn't a single person on the grid that I don't want to succeed. Now, obviously, they can't all get in the points. They can't all get on the podium. They can't all win the race. But I think when you've been on the road and you've watched their careers grow over a number of years, you realise how much they've invested, how much they've sacrificed, which is why Drive to Survive has been so brilliant, because they're able to show you that side of Formula One, and they're doing it now with rugby. I don't know if you guys are... Oh, Canada's quite a good rugby nation, isn't it?
Pretty good, yeah. We're up there. We're not like New Zealand.
No.
No. I don't think any of us are.
Yeah, fair enough, yeah.
But, we're from quite a big rugby family, and I love seeing what they've done with Full Contact, because I think so much is assumed. And actually, when you turn the TV on for 80 minutes for a rugby match or a couple of hours for a Formula One race, you're just going purely on performance. But what you're not doing is appreciating the backstory to that performance, the sacrifice, the human trauma that has taken them to get to the point of representing their country or working incredibly hard to achieve at that level. You all know that kind of level of performance and sort of gritty tenacity comes when your back's against the wall. So many of them do have a big story behind it. And I think that's so important. And so it's really difficult. I mean, I remember interviewing Danny Kvyat, and he'd just become a dad. And I was just like, you've just become a dad. And I was like, okay, chill out. I had to have a word with myself. But in that moment, that's what mattered. That was the human moment. And I think it's quite important for us to portray that, actually. Because I think as fans, we want to know what makes that person tick.
Yeah.
And if you can understand something human about them, whether they've become a dad or, what they've gone through to get there, you understand the performance that much more.